Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. As you know, this is the best YouTube channel to see coding projects using Python. So today we'll be building an image viewing application using Tkinter and Python. So first, you'll need to install the pillow library. It's an image processing library in Python. So that's the first thing you should do. So you should run it on like this, pip install on your terminal pillow. Because I already have it, I won't have to pip install it. So now let's start with the project. So from Tkinter, let's import everything. We'll also be using the OS library. So from Tkinter also, let's import file dialog. File dialog from PIL. Let's import, and the PIL is all uppercase. So don't forget that if you have already done the pip install, it won't give you any error. It will just work fine. Image and image tk there, and then from Tkinter dot message box, let's import everything. So those are all the inputs that we're going to be using on the application. That's everything. So class images, let's do frame. Let's initialize our instance, the init. So underscore underscore, that would be self, and then root. And then let's do self dot root equals root. And then let's do a function right here. That will be our main function. So will be root equals tk. That's it. And then it will be UE. And name it anything you want, but I'll just name it UE equals images. Then now let's pass the root into our class, and then I will do root dot main loop, and then we'll do if name equals main. Let's run the main function just like that. So that should work. As you can see, we have a small window right here. So that's our boilerplate for the project. So let's do self. This is our title for the window. Dot title. So it's up to you for the name of the application, but I'll just do image viewer. That's the name I gave. I'm giving my application. You can name yours anything you want. So self dot root. Let's now set the geometry. So this is the size of the application. Geometry. So this will be 1370 by 680. So this is just x. So that stands for times. So don't use the Python arithmetics operators here for times. Just use x plus minus 10. So these are just the positions on the window. So I'm putting negative 10 and 10. So let's do self dot root dot resizable, which will do a width of 1 and a height of 1. And then let's do self dot root dot conf figure, then we'll do a background, a BG of gray 72. So when I run that, you'll see a window, a larger window with a background of 2. Then I can resize it by 1, just like that. So now let's pass. So this will be the default image that will load when the application loads. So here back.jpg. So I'll create a variable for it. So I'll do back.jpg. So you can download any image from Unsplash and just put it here. So self.var equals string var. So that's uppercase string var. So this is a Tkinter widget for our strings. So we want to get these files, this name, and place it on a label on the top of our window, the names of every window. So that's why we are changing it to strings. So self.var.set, then files.title, self.name label. So this will be our label for all the image names. So we'll be using the label widget in Tkinter. .root, and then now let's do text variable equals string dot var, self.var dot var, yep. And then let's do a border width. So border width is BD will be 2. Let's do a foreground of black, that's FG, and then a BG of white, that's background. So we'll do our font right here. Equals Helvetica 15, and then bold. Relief equals raised. Then let's do a width 50. Now let's place it on our window. That will be self.name label.place. X will be to 400. Y will be 1. Now let's run that if you want to see. And here we go. The name of our default image will be right there. So now we want to create a label where we will be placing our image, our default image. So that will be self.img 1. So that will be image.open, and then files. So this pillow library helps us process different types of images. So we can work with a lot of types of images. That makes sense. So we can work with PNGs, we can work with GPGs, we can work with JPEGs, So it basically helps us with a lot. So let's resize self for the image. So we are resizing the image. So here will be 13, 60 by 640. So if our image was 600 pixels by 600 pixels, so now this is the new size that we are resizing it to. Anti-alias image dot anti-alias. So self dot img, another variable, equals image tk dot photo image. Then let's pass the self dot img1. So let's do self dot image label dot place. Not dot place. We don't want first to place. We want to create a label first. So that's label. Let's do self dot root, and then self dot image label dot place. So on our x-axis we want it to be 2, and then on our y we want it to be close to 30. So self dot image label compound equals so that left is uppercase. So let me just do that, and then self dot image dot image label, that's image, and then here it will be self dot img. So now when we run, we will see our default image on our window, just like that. So what we'll do next, guys, is we'll create a function for loading our images. So define load images. So let's make here a variable directory equals file dialog dot ask directory. So there's where we're gonna be using the file dialog widget in Tkinter. CHDIR for the OS library. So directory. So we're gonna write here a comment. So it permits us to change the current directory. All images equals to os.list dir. So once we have gotten the directory, now we will list that directory. So all images dot reverse. So we want to reverse the order of the images. So that's why we run that function. Reverse is an inbuilt function for Python. You can check it out on on Google what it does. Yeah, list images. So we're going to create a list box for here. So basically this list box we will load the images. We'll go to a directory, load the file. The file will have our images, and then we'll put those images into our list box, and then from that list box is where we will iterate through that list box, through each index. So it starts from index 0 to whatever the number of images we'll have. So you'll just see in a few how this works. List box help itself dot root bd equals 5. We'll do a width of 191. Yep. And then we'll do a height of 2. So let's place it on our window. Self dot list images dot place. So we won't be able to see this list box, so that's why I'm placing it so on the bottom of our window. So x equals 0 and y equals 900. So we'll now get the images and put them on our list box. So let's do a for loop for image in all images. Let's create here a variable for the position of that image. So you can I'm using POS, or you can use index, it's up to you. If image dot ends with, so we are checking for the file extension. So we don't want to put MP4 files. We don't want also to put MP3 files. We don't want to, when we load a file, we don't want to get the PDF files, doc files. We only want images. So that's why we are putting some extensions, some major extensions that we know of images. So the first one will be PNG. That will be our first extension. And then we'll do GPG. And then we'll do JPEG. And then we'll also do ICO. So that stands for icons. So now let's self dot list images dot insert. So now we can insert the images on our list box if that condition is met. So that's why we have set that condition of an if statement condition. So and then now we want to add the position, the index. So this position, it will set it to, let's say we have 12 images. So the first one will be at 0, the second one will be at 1, the third one at 2, the fourth one at 3, just like that. So now let's do self dot list images selection clear, or selection set, and then that will be at 0. Then self dot list images dot c. So basically when we load the image, we want it to be already active, and so that you can go to the next one. So that's why we are using all of this. And then self dot list images dot activate, and then it will also be at index 0, and then self dot list images dot selection anchor also at 0. So now we'll do a variable here, image equals to self dot list images dot cursor selection selection, just like that. Then images, another variable equals to self dot list images dot get that image that is at index 0. Just like that. And then let's do self dot img. So basically we'll do what we did right above here when we got our default image, this one right here. So we'll do something similar, but we'll change the file that we are opening. So here we opened files. Because it's singular, let's do file, not files. Yeah. So we'll basically do the same thing right here. So you can copy this code right above from here. This one, all of this code from here, self.image1, all that. And then now come just below here when we did our images variable. So instead of file, we will do images, just like that. So we don't have much to change. Yeah. So now let's run that. Files not defined. So file there. Now let's run that. As you can see, we still have our images. So we are not able really to load the images because I've not done the button, but that is coming very soon. So we can just do that. We can do the buttons as right now, so that we see if this function is running well. So now let's do self dot button browse equals to button. So that's the widget for button. Self dot root, and then text. So I have an hex value for our email, file symbol. So you can find it on Google. You can just Google file hex values. So that's a file image. So 5C. So all this is uppercase. F5C1. Oh, yeah. So browse images. Then let me just get this one here. And this should be here. Yep, just like that. So we are doing a border width of 3. BD equals 3. And then font equals to Helvetica, and then 10, bold, command equals to load images. So that's the function. Yeah. Oh, I put the L into uppercase. That's not a variable. Should function should be named. So button, not button. Sorry for the typos, guys. I really don't have the nicest keyboard in the world, but I'm really trying. So button, browse. Let's place it on our window. So we'll do x equals to 4 and y equals 1. Let's run that and see if we have it. Yep. So we can now open the file. So now let's just close it for us of now. So let's also do the exit button. So it will also be at the top of our window. Dot exit. So that will be self.root text equals exit bd equals 3 font equals Helvetica 10, and then let's do a foreground of red because it's our exit button, and then a BG, a background of white. And then let's do a width of 10. Width equals 10. So we forgot a comma right there. Yeah. And then now let's do the command that we want to run when we click the button. So it will be self.root.destroy. Destroy here. Now let's place it on our window. Self.exit button dot place. So also this one will be on our top, but on the further right side. So that's why we'll put our x equals to 1274 and y, because we want it at the top, will be 1. Yep. Now let's run that. Yep, we have both our buttons for the exit. So now let's click on our exit and you'll see it will work just like that. Our window is closed, but you can, that looks good. So now we want our buttons. We want now to create 2 more functions that will that will go to the next and then the previous, so that we can move through the images. Now we are just loading the images and then we're putting them on our list box, but we don't have a way to move from the next one to move to the next one and to move to the previous one. So that's what we are basically creating right now. So now let's do define next image and then define previous image. So we can pass this, and then now let's work first on the next one, the next image function first. So we'll start with the try block, and then accept. So we won't pass. We will return an error when this won't work. We want to return an error. So let's do a variable here Next one equals to self dot list images dot cursor select cursor car selection. So it will be next one equals to next, then 0 plus 1. So we want to add the index in our next image, in this, in moving to the next, moving to the next function. So, and then for our previous we want to minus, so this will be minus, but here for the next will be plus, so that we can add the index. So if it is index 0, when you add 1 it will be 1. If it is index 1, when you add 1 it's 2, and 4, and just like that. Image equals to self dot list images dot get, then it will be next one, then I will do self dot image 1, then image, which will, no, here we'll do what we have done right here, just above here. So we'll open. So now let's get this. So now let's just place it there. Let me take care of the indentation right there. So we'll open first, but now instead of images we'll pass this image here, this one right there. So that looks good. Everything is just as you'll just leave it as it is. Then now let's do self dot list images dot select clear, select clear, that will be 0, and then to the end. And then now let's do self dot list images dot activate, and then there will be next one. So we will activate the next one. So here will be self dot list images dot selection, set, and next one, and then we want to do the last will be equals to none. So we are clearly we are clearing the last one, and then we're activating it, and then now we are setting it to that one, to the new image that we've, the next image that you've loaded. So let's set the self dot var dot set. So this will be the name of that image. So this is the variable, the string variable that's created above here, this one, as you can see. So now we will name it, the variable name for that label will be for this image that we have currently loaded. So we'll also have some buttons, self dot button prev. So this will be the previous button, then self dot button next. So this will be button self dot root text equals to that symbol, bd equals to 5, bg equals to gray 72. That's the background, and then the fg we'll set it to black. Then now let's do black. So now let's do a, oh, I forgot a comma right there. Let's do the font. So our font will be Helvetica. I think it's 10, and then bold, and then let's do our command. So be previous image. So that will be the command that will run when we click this button. So for our next will be similar to this. So now let's just copy equals. So we'll just change the text symbol to the one that's forward, and then here it will be next image instead of previous, just like that. So now let's place them on our window. X equals to 2 and y equals to 270. So this will be for the next. The place x will be 13. So that this will be more to the right. So on our x-axis. So 1340 and then 270. That will be the y-axis. So that will be on our y-axis. So now let's check the except condition. So if we run into a problem, we want to show an error, or let's say if our index is, let's say we have 12 images and we have reached the 12th one, so we can't load the 13th one, so we want to return an error instead of getting some weird exceptions on our terminal. So image, and then please press the previous button, just like that. So I think that should work fine. Let's see if we load some images right here. And then let me first. We have not binded the keys first. So just a minute. Let's first create the previous image so that we can work with both. So it will be similar to the next image function. So we'll just copy everything. Just copy everything, even the exception, just like that. And then now let's paste it right here. So what we'll do, we'll just change here to no previous, and then press the next button. And as I told you, instead of going to the next index, we will be going backwards, so it will be minus instead of plus. So that's basically what we'll do there. And then now let's do some key bindings, because we want to, when we press the right click button, we want it to go to the next, and when we press the left click button, we want it to go to the previous. So here we'll do self dot root dot bind, and then let's do right. So you can check these key bindings online on the Tkinter documentation, or you can just find them on some articles online. They are quite handy when you want to create an interactive application in Tkinter. So next, image. So that will run our next image function. So now let's bind the previous image function. So we'll do previous, and then instead of right, it will be left, and the L is uppercase and also the R is uppercase for right and left. So now let's run that. Let's see if it works. Hopefully it works, guys. So now let's click on right click. As you can see, guys, it's working perfectly. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Guys, just like that, you have an image viewing application using Tkinter. It's not the best, but it looks quite good. It's basically a simple image viewing application. So that's basically it, guys. That's what we have been able to do. And as you can see here on our label, each time we change the image, it comes with the image title. So that's it, guys, for that video. And as you can see, we have the buttons that we created. So you can either use the mouse to click the buttons, or you can use our keys, the right and the left click. So that's basically it, guys. See you on the next video, and please subscribe and hit the like button. Thank you.